we are here to learn about Camp Koolanu for 2021. We'll start off with our camp leadership team. This summer, we are really excited to welcome a new director, Rabbi Robbie Myers. Rabbi Myers, wave, there you go. We're going to introduce Rabbi Myers. He's going to say hi in just a quick second, and I will introduce the rest of the team really quick. Rabbi Myers is our director. Rabbi Levi Mark is our assistant director. He has been with us since the first summer that Camp Koolanu opened, starting as a learning Rebbe in camp, and moving his way up onto assistant director. He knows Camp Koolanu like the back of his hand, and brings his warm smile every summer. Campers love him. And if you've ever heard the term, "Good morning, Camp Koolanu," then you know about Rabbi Mark. And last on our camp leadership team is Rabbi David Newmark, our camper support specialist. Rabbi Newmark has a little bit of a dual role in that he's the support specialist for the entire camp. He really supports all campers. Any campers who's having a difficult day, need somebody to talk to, campers who are struggling during transition times, need a little incentive program to motivate them in any sort of way. Especially our younger campers who are, experiencing their first large camp experience. Rabbi Newmark is a licensed social worker and is available for the campers to help. In addition, he also supervises our our inclusion program, which brings campers with different abilities and integrates them fully into our camp, and that they're able to be part of the full camp experience. Next slide. Okay, so here we go. We have Rabbi Myers, and I'm going to turn the mic over to him in just a minute. But just to give you a quick background with his bio, Rabbi Myers is a longtime educator, currently teaching in the lower school at the Berman Hebrew Academy in Rockville. And he comes with a strong and well-rounded camp background, working as a camp counselor, division head, and learning Rebbe in various camps. He brings humor, enthusiasm, and a passion for working with children, and is really looking forward to joining our Koolanu team. So, Rabbi Myers, if you want to say hello.
Hello, everybody. Hello. My name is Robbie Myers. Nice to meet everyone that's on here. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm super excited to be joining Koolanu this summer as the director. I'm looking forward to an awesome summer. We've already gotten the ball working on different activities and new things for this summer. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great time. And obviously, if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out to either myself or Mrs. Heidemann with anything that you might have. And it's going to be awesome.
In general, people talk about the camp experience, that it's an opportunity for kids to grow in their social emotional development, gain confidence, learn new skills in an environment that's less structured and less rigid than the typical school setting. And that's really obviously the environment that we aim to create and to foster for campers during the summer.
But one of the things that I love about camp is that you really get to see kids learn without that rigid structure like the box of school. And you get to see them be their kids, and you get to see the different, kohos strengths that they have. Just not in the regular, academic subjects that they have to learn, but, where they can excel in a baking or science or sports activity, and where they can really shine. And that, once they shine and once they build up that self-esteem in that area, you see that ripple effect throughout the rest of their daily life. And that's one of the things that we're going to try to emphasize this summer, that positive, atmosphere where we're all in this together. We're all Team Koolanu, and we're gonna have some awesome activities planned. We're really working hard on that, on that avenue, and learning new skills, and a lot of the social emotional. We're working. We have Rabbi Newmark on staff, so it's going to really be that where we take our, we're going to take the game to the next level for each and every student. And I think campers will come, they'll make friends, they'll enjoy, they'll have a great experience, and Koolanu 21 is going to be the place to be.
Thank you. Like Rabbi Myers was saying, and like I was saying before, it's really a special experience. I actually did not grow up in camp in the summers. I went to various different camps, but being at the JCC over the last couple of years and seeing the camp experience firsthand, it's really, really incredible to see boys transform over the summer, the friends that they meet, the bonds that they gain over the summer. It's a really, really special thing. And hopefully your son or sons will have that experience this summer as well. So to give you an idea of how we make decisions, I know there's a lot of questions around the different things going on with COVID, bunk sizes, COVID policies, and things like that. To give you an idea of how we make our decisions, there's really three elements. First and foremost, with everything related to COVID-19, there's our medical guidance. The medical guidance is a committee of medical professionals that's been put together to help the JCC through making difficult decisions. As well as our partnership with LifeBridge Health, and all the medical professionals that come along with that partnership. The second aspect is camp groups, which are various groupings of professionals to assist the JCamp's leadership team in making different decisions about programming and what may or may not be considered safe for this summer. And the third element is the JCamp's leadership team, which is all of the camp directors throughout all of the J camps between Park Heights and Owings Mills. And the J camps leadership team will review all of the recommendations from the medical professionals, from the camp groups, from the different committees, and figure out what's going to work best for us, for our campers, and for everybody on the ground. Next slide. Okay, so to look at this summer for what's new, we know one thing that is difficult in the Park Heights campus is the outdoor space. If you're familiar with the campus, outdoor space is limited, but we have worked really hard to we've worked with our building staff and with our facilities team to kind of create additional outdoor spaces to make sure that we can have campers be outdoors as much as possible. One thing that we do know is that, we don't know what CDC guidelines exactly are going to be for camp this summer. They will likely determine that within the next 4 to 6 weeks, but we do know that masking will still be required indoors, which is why we really want to create as much outdoor time as possible. To allow for campers to, just have some relief from the mask wearing all day. We are investing a lot in outdoor tents to be able to have lunch outdoors, and do several of our activities will be done outdoors. Things like art, which was normally done indoors, baking, which normally would be done indoors. We're trying to move as much as we can outside by putting up tents throughout the grounds. Our staff parking lot in the back of the building is not currently being used, as all of our staff is coming in through the front right now for health screenings. So our staff parking lot is going to be kind of transformed into an outdoor camp space with very, very large tent structures. As well as other spaces that aren't normally used for camp. We are going to be taking over every inch of the outdoor space that we can in Park Heights. The other things that we're incorporating this year is some really dynamic programming, stuff that we haven't done before, and in-house field trips. Because of COVID-19, we are not going to be able to do field trips this summer, but we are working very hard with some really exciting vendors and entertainment companies to bring all the excitement and the energy of a field trip to our campus. And we've got some really, really exciting things in store. And the last thing that we're doing is some chesed programming. Our camp programs in Owings Mills work with JVC, the Jewish Volunteer Connection, and do a lot of volunteer work throughout the summer, and a lot of really fun projects, things that get donated throughout the summer. And it's something that we've really wanted to incorporate into the Koolanu programming, a lot with organizations that are more familiar to our community. So we'll be reaching out and working with Jewish Caring Network and Ahavas Yisrael to create some really fun and exciting chesed opportunities for the boys. And I think oftentimes chesed programming is designed for young women, and we obviously recognize the value and the importance of teaching it to our boys and instilling those values in our boys. And so we're going to be really excited about bringing some of that to our camp this summer. Okay, health and safety. So Summer at the J 2020 was a program that we created as an alternative to our camp program in Owings Mills last summer. And we're really excited to be able to utilize the knowledge that we had from running that program in Owings Mills last year and bring it to the Park Heights campus. All of the Maryland Department of Health guidelines were met and exceeded, and we're excited to continue to, to mimic all of that at our Park Heights campus. And policies were created last year with our camp health team and, like I said, our partners at LifeBridge Health, and we'll be reviewing those policies and updating them based on the 2021 guidelines for youth camps in Baltimore City. There will be some differences. I know there may have been some families who sent their campers or sent their kids to Owings Mills last summer. There may be some differences as Park Heights is located in Baltimore City, and the Owings Mills campus is located in Baltimore County. So there may be some minor differences even this year throughout the two camps, but also between last year and this year, there may be some differences as well. As I mentioned, we learned a lot from our Owings Mills program last summer, and we'll be implementing all the same safety protocols in Park Heights this year. Our camp medical staff, as in previous summers, we employ either a registered nurse or a medic who's on site every day and responds to everything from minor boo-boos to Chas v'shalom, any sort of major incidents, which Baruch Hashem, we have not had many of. Okay, the COVID response management, we did create a policy, our response management protocols for COVID cases that, God willing, will not come up during the summer, but working with LifeBridge Health and the medical team, the protocol for the response is a protocol for symptomatic and probable or positive case responses, which is that if a camper or staff member develops symptoms during the camp day, they'll be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. And if it is deemed appropriate, isolation or campers or staff may need to be sent home until they're cleared by a doctor to return. If a camper or staff member tests positive for COVID-19, we will immediately notify their parents and anyone who had contact with them in the bunk or any specialists, as well as contact the Maryland Department of Health to report the case. And of course, JCAMs, all of our JCAMs, both in Baltimore County and Baltimore City, follow all Maryland Department of Health and CDC guidelines to determine who will have to quarantine, and for how long in the event that there is a positive case. Saying goodnight to my daughter, I apologize. Okay, staff training, as is always the case, we have a very strong commitment to training our staff, both in all sorts of training for children in terms of general things, but specifically, with health and safety. We'll be investing a lot of additional time this year in training our staff in any sort of COVID-19 related safety and prevention protocol that needs to be done, whether it's with sanitizing, making sure that campers are socially distancing when possible, and anything related to that. General programming, all programming will take place in a socially distanced manner when required, and with the proper protocol in place. The groups, each bunk will be referred to as a pod or a household, and groups will not mix with other groups during program times. And we obviously take everything into consideration throughout the building, making sure that as campers are traveling and moving around throughout the building, that safe pathways are created for each bunk to move about throughout the building safely. Inclement weather. In the event of inclement weather, all campers will be brought inside the building, whether it's extreme heat, rain, and each bunk or pod will have their own dedicated space in the building. And as I said, one thing we do know is that campers and staff will be required to wear masks while indoors. Staff, including our dedicated housekeeping team, will be, disinfecting frequently touched surfaces, and campers will be washing their hands and disinfecting as much as possible throughout the day. Camp capacity. In a normal year, we have larger bunk sizes, as well as a very high staff to camper ratio. This year, there will be some sort of capacities. We're not 100% sure exactly what the numbers are going to look like. Again, we have not received confirmation about exact numbers yet from the Maryland Department of Health, but we know that there will be limited capacity. So we do encourage everyone, if you have not yet registered, to register as soon as you can. And we know also, if anyone is concerned about large groups, that there will be smaller group sizes this year. Okay, our website landing page, which is jcc.org/Koolanu, has everything about the dates, the times, and the application link, and the pricing is actually not directly on the landing page, but when you get to the application. If you have not yet registered, it is a risk-free registration through April 15th. So if you register and decide within the next week or so that you want to cancel, it is a risk-free registration and you will be refunded 100%, including your deposit. After April 15th, cancellations will forfeit a deposit. And then the camp payment is due in full on June 1st. Just a quick note about the difference between a change versus a cancellation. If you need to make a change to your registration, that means you registered for 4 weeks and you want to switch those 4 weeks. There is no fee for any changes. Cancellations are you registered for 4 weeks and now you want to change that registration to only 3 weeks. That would be a cancellation, and there is a fee for that. Okay, let's go on to the next slide, which is going to be the end of our presentation. And we're going to go ahead and open it up to questions. You can either post the questions in the chat or feel free to unmute yourself and ask the question. Will we have hot lunch? That is a fantastic question. We are working with Chef Dan to offer some sort of hot lunch program. We're not 100% sure what it's going to look like yet. If it will be multiple days a week or 1 or 2 days a week. In the past, we've offered hot lunch on Tuesdays and Fridays. We are hoping that we'll be able to offer it every day this week. It won't be a free program, but there will be some kind of option to purchase hot lunch throughout the summer through Chef Dan's Cafe. Yes. You're welcome. How frequently is there parent communication about the camp day? And is it the same across all age groups? Okay, great question. Parent communication is extremely important to us and is fairly frequent, not throughout the camp day, but I would say throughout the camp week. We generally send, I would say, anywhere from 2 to 3 emails throughout the week. Generally an email at the beginning of the week with reminders about any sort of special information for that week. So often you'll find out about, in previous summers, you would find out about the trip the previous week, where the trip was going, but we also send out a reminder email on Monday with reminders to wear the camp shirt, where we're going, if there's any sort of waiver that's required. So we generally send out an email at the beginning of the week. And oftentimes there is one email that will go out midweek just with updates about things that are going on. And we also end off each week with a camp newsletter with pictures and summaries about all the activities that went on throughout the week. The camp newsletter gets printed and sent home with the campers as well, which I'm not sure if we'll be able to do this year, as unfortunately we did close our in-house print shop this year. But we are hoping to be able to continue printing the newsletter and sending it home with the campers. If we're not able to do that, it also gets emailed home as a PDF attachment each week. And in the email, we also include the link to our weekly video with awesome video footage and music from everything that went on throughout the week. Is it different for different age groups? No. In the past, there has been one email that goes out that includes information for all age groups. So you'll kind of sift through the email and see what's relevant. And we generally separate it out into paragraphs: Koolanu Junior, regular Koolanu. If there's different waivers, we try to limit over communicating, as we all know how we all feel about too many emails. But so if there, if say a field trip or any sort of form or anything that will be done, it would be in one email, and we'll say attached is this form for this age group, this form for this age group. And the newsletter includes everything about all age groups. We have a lot of siblings in the camp, so we'll send out one newsletter at the end of the week for the whole camp. Any other questions? Okay, well, on that note, we'll go ahead and wrap up. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. I know, especially, in a regular year, picking a camp and figuring out where you're going to send your kids can be a really difficult decision. Where are their friends going? What's the best fit for them? So thank you for considering Koolanu. If you have not yet registered, we are offering a promotion to anyone who attended tonight's info session. We'll be sending out a promo code for anyone who has not yet registered to receive a discount, for the registration if you register by this Sunday, April 11th. I believe the promo code expires at midnight on Sunday. So we'll be sending that out tomorrow. And in the meantime, our contact information, the email address is campkoolanu@jcc.org. Phone number is 410-500-5948. As we do not have somebody in the office full time right now, I do recommend emailing first. But please feel free to reach out at any point. If you have any questions, concerns, if you have applied and you have any questions or concerns, reach out at any point. And again, thank you all for attending, and we're looking forward to a really awesome summer.